As of a few days ago, NXT India has been announced, is set to launch in 2021. We were made aware of this. So essentially, John Pollock of Post Wrestling and Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics are both reporting that an NXT India TV show will begin filming in January of 2021, with the series airing in the Indian market. As of yet, there's no official word on which stars will be appearing on the latest NXT product, but recent plans seem to suggest that an 8-man singles tournament could be featured on the brand new show. The aforementioned tournament could crown the inaugural NXT India champion, though this also hasn't been confirmed at this time. It is thought that the NXT India show will be airing on linear TV in India, with a digital window expected through the WWE network. In March of this year, it was revealed that WWE had agreed to renew their deal with Sony Pictures Network in India, with the new deal running for 5 more years. This agreement includes Sony being able to bring the WWE network to their audiences through Sony LIV, the company's own OTT over-the-top streaming service. NXT India will be WWE's latest addition to their ever-growing NXT brand, joining the original US version NXT and its British counterpart NXT UK. So that one's like that article and write-ups from What Culture, my good pals of What Culture. Then as far as just another source, The Overtimer, this article is written by Matthew Blanchard. This one with regards to WWE starting the NXT India thing in January. Just want to read through this and then I'll give my thoughts and then I'll read some tweets and whatnot. So just get a general kind of roundup about NXT India. So this article goes, NXT India to start up in 2021 after failed attempts to capture the Indian market with World Championship reigns of the Great Khali and Jinder Mahal. WWE going right to the source. They will set up their own developmental branch right in India and get the next big star from there. Right now, they have a few talents they can use to get things started for their reported first tapings in January. It's unlikely that WWE sends Jinder Mahal there, but we could see the Bollywood Boys and Indus Sher being involved in the initial tapings. Rinku Singh is a major name for the market with his story of Major League Baseball success. Being a rags to riches story. Indus Sher didn't work out in NXT, but this could be their land to rule. The only known plans for the show right now is to feature an 8-man single elimination tournament in the first tapings. It'll be shown on linear TV, etc., etc. So yeah, the plans are about 5 more years after that, but other extensions. So that's the basic kind of crux. That's the information you need to know about NXT India. This news isn't super hot and breaking. It's like 2 days old as far as news goes, but I wanted to cover this in a video because I feel like NXT India, it's an interesting topic. Now, I'll look at what you guys had to say first. Now, I got a wide range of opinions on NXT India. I've had some people tell me that it's a bad idea, considering people don't watch NXT UK as is. So why would they want to watch NXT India? That was one of the things I saw. People saying that if you can't get Jinder Mahal on there, what's the point of even caring? People saying they'll just be flat out a bust. But then, in my opinion, I share the more positive opinion that, look, okay, as far as the actual quality of product that NXT India is probably going to be, it probably won't be that great. Like, let's be real, it's yet another WWE, expansion, WWE business venture, which it's going to be quite profitable. I think, as far as the bottom line goes, and WWE as just strictly a business, I think in that regard, like NXT India and this India expansion and going straight to India to really craft out an audience base there, I think that in that regard is very intelligent, it's very smart, it's logical business. I think they tried, obviously, as I mentioned before, the Great Khali and Jinder Mahal title reigns. The Jinder one especially, some of the ratings they got, I forget the exact number, but people were telling me on social media that I think it was the SmackDown after SummerSlam back in 2017, that when Jinder was champion there, that drew like 50 million viewers over in India, something like that. Some just ungodly number because, we should all be aware, India's population is just astronomical. Over 1 billion people, or well over 1 billion people live in India, so there's a massive market, there's a massive lot of revenue potential in India. So WWE doing this business venture with NXT India, it's a smart thing to do. It really is. I think, now going back to the quality of product wise, it's going to be worse than NXT UK. NXT UK is kind of dead. I mean, it's on Thursdays on the WWE network. No one really watches it as like in America or like kind of the Western world, or even in the UK, but hardly anyone watches NXT UK. So that's not really that much of a big success. NXT India, on the other hand, I think if they can get a really good kind of viewing audience, consistent, regular, like viewing base in India, that's a huge win, because as I mentioned, if you can develop a star there, like a star or two, like Indian homegrown wrestling stars to come into 2021, 2022, 2023, these guys who could potentially be moved up to the main roster, potentially have a main roster push, assuming that NXT India goes well. I mean, that's the ideal situation, because at the end of the day, NXT India, the truth about it is that it's a very strategic, very smart business venture to try and capitalize on the enormous revenue potential and prosperity that's just lying there waiting in India. Because as I mentioned, India, over 1 billion people live there. We've seen by the Jinder Mahal title reign that if you really utilize India well and really get a star or two from India and use them well, then that can mean great things for your business and your bottom line and like ratings and traction in India especially. So NXT India should be good. I mean, we'll see if they put this on the network. Like if they put NXT India on the WWE network, will I or you watch it? Highly doubt it. Highly doubt. I don't watch NXT UK, and NXT UK is like more so like a kind of Western type show where you can, it's basically just American pro wrestling, but in the UK. This, would the wrestlers be speaking, native languages and the Indian native language? Would they be speaking in language I wouldn't be able to understand? Would they be like, I don't know. I don't know about the presentation. It waits to be seen. I'm going to hold back real judgment until I see what this actually like looks like aesthetically, because who knows? Maybe this is the best thing since sliced bread. We don't know. We have no clue. Maybe NXT India is the saving grace of WWE. Would I want to bet money on that? No, I would not, because I'd lose money. But as far as what it could be another decent NXT program that runs week to week. It could well be. And one of the other things I saw, a lot of my replies to my tweet out, what do you guys think about NXT India? A lot of people want to see these NXT kind of brand expansions in different countries. And to that I say, I don't know. Because certain few countries it would work for. Like it really would. I think NXT, if they can do NXT Japan, I think that's probably the best other one they could do. The most like financially efficient. But then again, there is New Japan Pro Wrestling. You've got all these Japanese-based promotions. So would WWE and NXT putting like a brand and a performance center of sorts in Japan and really trying to run shows as NXT Japan, would that be beneficial at all? Because there is a large audience base over there, so it would help get kind of brand reputation, positive brand association going in Japan. But I don't know about that. I think a few months back or a few years back, this kind of thing was discussed, and I think it's been shut down since. So maybe I'm totally off the mark with this, but I think NXT Japan potentially is probably the best other option they have to go with. I think other countries, I've seen some people be like, oh, they should do an NXT Australia. And I'm like, no. Who would you put on that? Why should we care? I mean, wrestling in Australia, it's kind of like the same as it is in America in the sense that most people who just don't watch wrestling know WWE, they know Undertaker, they know Cena, they know Austin, they know Hogan, and that's like it, if at all. That's wrestling in Australia. That's the bare bones to it. And if you did NXT Australia, who would you put on it? Bronson Reed? And then who? People are saying, oh, well, you put Murphy on it. No, you wouldn't. Murphy's a main roster talent. Why'd you bring him to NXT Australia? Like, this kind of stuff, you have to have NXT talents that are from the region, that are, like, well-known. And I think India as a market, because of the sheer size and the sheer volume of people over there, I think it's actually a good business venture. And it's a smart thing to at least experiment with. Maybe this falls just flat on the ground and it's a complete failure. A year from now, NXT India is just gone under. But the risk is worth the reward with this, because you could quite possibly come out of this with millions and millions of new WWE fans. India, I know some people, some wrestling fans through wrestling Twitter and whatnot who are from India, and they've just raved to me about how, the depth and the reach of India as far as drawing people in and getting interest. So maybe it's a big hit, maybe it's a big miss. It waits to be seen. But yeah, that's been the video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Just wanted to really talk about this. I tried to cover pretty much the main points. I don't want to drag this out to like 20 minutes. Doesn't really need to be. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and drill. See ya.